Sean. We are. We're gonna do it. Let's do it all. It's a surprise. Yeah, we are.
Husband and wife Joan and John flew into the tank looking for $75,000 for 10% of their hummingbird feeder mask. Yes, you heard that correctly. They invented a mask that's also a hummingbird feeder, so you can get real up close and personal with hummingbirds. So here's the mask. You fill it with sugar water, and they suggest waiting in a spot that you usually have your bird feeder until a hummingbird arrives, and then you just sit back and enjoy the view. They do have a patent for this, and so far they've sold 500 units. It costs them about $10 to make, and in the tank they said it sells for $59.95, but it seems they've raised their prices since then to $69.95. You may have seen this product here on TikTok as they reached out to this hummingbird influencer who made a video that got around 3 million views.
Okay, guys. One thing to know, I'm sure my fellow sharks do not know this, but I study Greek mythology. And in Greek mythology, the hummingbird is known as a messenger. It brings messages to humans. And it's given me one. I'm out.
So yeah, Kevin's out. Damon thinks it's too small and more of a hobby business, so he goes out. Mark says he wouldn't be passionate about it, but loves that they came up with it. He's out. Lori thinks it's super cute and novel, but again with Damon, thinks it's more of a hobby business and not investable, so she also goes out. Then we're down to our guest shark, Daniel, and we find out that him and his family actually associate hummingbirds with his late father, and he sees this opportunity as fate. So he ends up offering them $75,000 for 35% of their business.
Well, that's a deal. Yeah. Let's do it. Come on, come see Daddy. Come to see Papa. That's great.
Final thoughts. I think this is a super fun product. I do, however, think it's way too expensive. I really wanted to buy one for my dad because he loves birds and I thought it'd be kind of funny, but I need it to be more in like the $20 range before I'm buying a kind of novelty, funny gift like this. And I agree with the other sharks that this is more of a hobby business, but good for them snagging Daniel. I hope he's able to take them under his wing, and let me know what y'all think in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.
Finally
We did it. We knew we had an idea.
Off.
Yes.
The crazy man in the mountains did it. How about that?
Yeah.
Once I move into a warehouse, I'll be able to run my business successfully. And I think that my high school experience...
What is happening to Kevin over there? I mean, I think there's something really going wrong.
Yeah.
Teen entrepreneur Mark walked into the tank looking for $150,000 for 10% of his gourmet slime that mimics food. So here's some examples. I just took a couple off of his website. If you don't know what slime is, it's currently a super popular toy / stress reliever. Pretty much you just squish it, play with it, manipulate it, whatever your heart desires.
Just to clarify this, Mark, we cannot eat this, right?
You cannot eat it, unfortunately.
What happens if you do eat it?
If you do eat it, you won't die. And
he has over 100 different kinds of slime and makes all of it from his garage at home. He's even hired some of his high school friends to help him package and ship it. They sell between $10 to $16, and it costs him between $2 and $4 to make. And the main way he gets his product out here is right here on TikTok, where he has over 900,000 followers. I don't think y'all are prepared for the sales because you're thinking, okay, slime, okay, started in 2020, okay, TikTok product, okay, 17-year-old. What's the most it could do? 1.2 million in lifetime sales. Year to date, they're at $540,000 in sales with $300,000 in profit. Our guest shark Daniel says the slimy slime space is not for him, so he goes out. Lori thinks it's cute, but also doesn't want to be in the slime business, so she's out. Mark thinks it's a mistake for him to take an investment at all right now and thinks he's fine on his own, so he also goes out, but Kevin is interested.
I mean, I want to be in the premium slime business because everything about Mr. Wonderful is premium, and so that fits with my brand.
Kevin offers him $150,000 for 30%, but we still have Damon, and while he agrees with Mark that he doesn't necessarily need a partner, Damon wants to partner with him and offers him $150,000 for 25%. Then we get into a bit of a counter battle. First it's $300,000 for 25%, then $200,000 for 20%. His main goal is just to try to stay to his $1.5 million valuation, but Damon finally says he's staying at $150,000, but willing to negotiate on equity. So finally Mark counters them $150,000 for 20%. They both say they take the deal, so now it's up to Mark to pick the shark he wants. After taking a moment to de-stress with his slime, he ends up making a deal with Damon.
Yay! You got a partner, and we defeated evil at the same time.
So I don't have a lot of final thoughts about this because, I mean, it's just slime. I think it's a really cute business and it's obviously doing very well for him. He's completely sold out right now. My main final thoughts are how much I love Damon, and I love that Damon did this deal because he didn't want Mark to get stuck with Kevin as a mentor, and that's really what Mark came in looking for. I think Damon will be a great mentor for him. He's done multiple of the kids' deals and done wonders with them, so I'm so happy for Mark and Damon. Tell me what y'all think in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.
I believe in you, and we're gonna make sure you go to school, and we're gonna help you with this business, all right? Okay. Tell mom and dad I said what's up.
What happens if you've been instructed to evacuate?
If you've been instructed to evacuate, you evacuate.
Bianca walked into the tank looking for $150,000 for 15% of her firefighting hose that attaches to your pool pump. So this is the hose, and the thing she's standing next to is your pool pump that you attach it to, and the idea is that in case of a wildfire, you could wet down your house to help prevent the fire from jumping. When there's a wildfire, there are flaming embers and debris on fire flying in the air, and they can land on your roof, and hopefully if it's wet, that can prevent it from just immediately catching on fire, which helps stop the spread of the wildfire. Another idea for it is you can also use it in case of a small house fire. Say you light your barbecue on fire, then you have this to help put it out. Another long-term goal she has is to have a way to let firefighters know where each of these units are in case they need to access them in an emergency. Her dad is actually the one who invented it back when she was a kid. Unfortunately, he passed away about 5 years ago, and she decided that she wanted to rebuild this business in his honor. They have a 50-foot hose unit that sells for $399 and costs them $124 to make, and they have a 100-foot unit that sells for $499 and it costs them $200 to make. But at the moment, they can only make about 25 to 30 units at a time, so she wants to increase that to help make the cost of making them go down. So she just launched the business in February of 2022, and so far they've only sold 49 units, which is $22,000 in sales. So not a lot, but she's still brand new.
The sales are generally small, but that doesn't mean anything, right?
Well, it means they're small.
No.
To sell it, she's been partnering with different pool companies where the pool person themselves can sell it for a commission at 20%, or she wholesales it to pool stores at 25 to 30% off wholesale. Our guest shark this week is Daniel Libitsky of Kind Bar, and he just doesn't think he can add very much value to it, so he goes out. Kevin doesn't think it's investable yet because it's too early, so he goes out. Damon thinks she's on the right path and that he couldn't add value, so he goes out. But the dynamic duo Lori and Mark are still in, and Lori thinks they are just the right people for her. They end up offering her $150,000 for 25%, which is way less equity than I thought they'd ask for. She tries a little counter, as I think you always should, for 20%. They say no, she's fine with it, and they end up making a deal at 25%. So I'm not going to pretend I really understand a lot about wildfires and how they spread. I live in a state where that doesn't happen, but I do see the merit and the value in this, especially if it can help with the fires jumping from house to house because of like wetting your house. Again, I don't completely understand how this works, so if any of y'all want to do some educating of us in the comments, totally go for it. But from what I understand, I really do think that this is a good idea. She seems very cool and very well educated on all this, and I just really hope that Mark and Lori can help get this to people who need it. What do y'all think in the comments? Let me know, and I'll see y'all in the next one.
Singing my song.
Wait, that's a joke, right?
Not a joke. That is all real sweat. But see, that may be their favorite part about Shredskinz, but let me show you my favorite part about Shredskinz.
Billy Barber's not here.
Looking for $60,000 for 20% of his single-use sauna suit business. So here's the product. Calais is an athlete himself, and in college he kept having to re-buy those reusable suits because if you don't clean them out properly, they start to really irritate your skin over time, and they rip super easily. So he kept finding himself having to buy these $20 and up suits, and when he tried to find a single-use option, pretty much all he could find was using a trash bag, which I think we've all seen before and is slightly hilarious if you're not the one in the trash bag. If you don't know what a sauna suit is, pretty much the idea is it helps you sweat more while you're working out, which can really help you lose a bunch of water weight. One of his main target markets is fighters who are trying to stay in their weight class for fighting. And I know when we hear single use, we all get concerned about the environment, but he is using an oxo-degradable plastic that breaks down a lot faster than other plastics. They're completely direct to consumer. It costs him about $4.17 to make, and he sells them in a 5-pack for $24.99, or you can sign up for their subscription service and they're $19.99. So let's get into the numbers. He's been at this for about 3 years and has had constant growth. 2020 was only $15,000 in sales, but in 2021 it jumped to $190,000 in sales. Year to date he's at $100,000 and projected to do $125,000. Just last month his revenue was $23,000 and he made $5,000 off of that. He mostly just markets on social media. He actually had a TikTok video blow up and that really helped with sales. They actually sold out 5 times last year. And he does have a partner who invested $25,000 for 25% equity and gave a loan of $100,000 to the business. Because of the other partner, Kevin feels there isn't room for another investor, so he goes out. Lori doesn't see it as a fit for her and she goes out, but our guest shark Daniel loves him and loves the product and ends up offering him exactly what he asked for, aka $60,000 for 20%.
Wait. Stop.
Mark also loves him and thinks he can help get the cost down, so he offers the same deal as Daniel. Damon says that he has enough good offers on the table and should just pick one of those, and Calais ends up making a deal with Mark Cuban. Final thoughts, Calais seems like a really great guy and this seems like a really great product. I also love when a small company comes in and actually gives a valuation that makes sense. I think that really helped him get a deal and I think Mark is definitely the best shark for him. Let me know what y'all think in the comments and I'll see you in the next one.
Do I help fill this up? Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. All right.
Hard-working man.
Yes, sir.
He's so sweet.
I've never seen an entrepreneur pick up his own trash.
I know, right?
Let's go, man. Let's go.